All right, good evening, everyone. It is Tuesday. Hope you're having a wonderful day. My name is Blair Miller. It is good to be with you here tonight on this Tuesday, and hopefully you're having a great first half of the week. I know we are covering the DNC tonight. We have that getting underway here this evening, but also some changes coming to the weather. Hope you enjoyed what was happening out there today because it's just been beautiful. And it sounds like that's going to get even better as we show you a live view out there right now. We'll be talking to meteorologist Fred Campagna here in a few minutes and get a sense of what's to come because they've been talking about this break from the humidity, which is certainly welcome, something we all have been looking forward to. But a bit of a breaking story we've been following here tonight in our newsroom and still on the scene of right now. A Carroll County deputy fighting for his life at this hour after being shot in the line of duty. I want to show you some video from the scene a little earlier and the story we've been following here throughout the day. But this taking place in Carroll County. Officials tell us that Deputy Taylor Bristow was shot in the head while serving a warrant in Carroll County. Apparently getting some more information on this, but was serving a search warrant for child exploitation. And Atlanta News First has just confirmed he is now out of surgery, but is still in critical condition. Investigators say the suspect is also dead. His manner of death is unknown right now, and he has not yet been identified. But as we show you video there of outside Grady Memorial where that sheriff's deputy was taken and still is here tonight. We spoke with residents today who told us what they saw and heard today as all of this unfolded.
30 police cars speeding down the road, but I didn't know what had happened, you know, and that scared me.
So that's some of what residents have been saying here today and what has happened there. This video from the scene in Carroll County where this happened, that's a picture of Deputy Taylor Bristow who was shot in the head. Again, while serving a warrant in Carroll County. We have Atlanta News First Tori Cooper outside Grady Memorial right now where the deputy's being treated. She's going to be updating us throughout the night on how he's
30
doing
police cars speeding down.
and what she's learning from the hospital. So we'll be updating that throughout the night here on the Atlanta News First app, but also on our 10 and 11 o'clock newscast. Another big story is what's happening up in Chicago today. Georgia voters, focus certainly on America's future, and tonight this will be prime time. Let's go ahead and show you. What's going to bring you a live picture out in Chicago, but I think we lost that picture. But right now they are getting ready for night 2 of the Democratic National Convention. And this is really where Democrats start to lay out their vision for what they hope to happen here under the Kamala Harris administration. This all taking place at the United Center in Chicago. And so everything will get started here. Some of it's underway, but this will get started here in primetime coverage around 9 o'clock on CBS. We are going to hear from several prominent Democrats who are set to take the stage. That's including former President Barack Obama and his wife, former First Lady Michelle Obama. Also some Georgia names will be taking center stage tonight as well. And our Atlanta News First political reporter Doug Reardon is there in Chicago, and he has more on what you can expect out of this evening.
Former Republican Lieutenant Governor of Georgia Jeff Duncan represents a faction of Republicans who are fed up with Donald Trump and are now supporting the Harris-Walz ticket. He was so vocal about his support, he even attended a Kamala Harris rally in Atlanta. And he's not the only Georgia name to speak at this convention. Last night, we also heard from Georgia Senator Raphael Warnock. He talked a lot about what he called voter suppression in states like Georgia. Warnock has been a champion for legislation like the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. And with the Georgia State Elections Board approving a rule yesterday that would make it easier to delay the certification of state elections, he says it is something everyone in America needs to pay attention to.
And we should all be concerned about this, whether we are Democrats or Republicans. This is about the integrity of our democracy, and we have to be vigilant.
We also asked Senator Warnock about a possible cabinet position inside the Harris-Walz administration. He said absolutely no way. It took Georgians 5 elections to get him into his Senate seat, and he intends to finish his 6-year term. From Chicago, Doug Reardon, Atlanta News First.
And we will be hearing from Doug here tonight after this gets underway tonight, after day 2 is done, and after we hear from former President Barack Obama and his wife and what we hear and see all unfold here this evening. He will have the latest for you live from Chicago tonight on our 11 o'clock newscast for Atlanta News First. We will also be updating all the day's news. We'll be updating that situation in Carroll County and with a live report outside Grady Memorial. But right now, I want to bring in meteorologist Fred Campagna because it has just been beautiful out there, Fred. And I know you've been soaking it in. We've been soaking it in, but it is just wonderful. And you're saying it's going to be I thought it was cool this morning. I would take that, but you're saying it's going to get maybe a little cooler tomorrow?
Yeah, it is going to be even more comfortable tomorrow. Blair, hey everybody, good evening. Let me get set up over here, throw my face up for just a second. See if I can find my weather graphics in here. Looks like that's them right there. And got to get rid of a couple other things. All right, we're good to go. Hope everybody's having a great Tuesday, a super Tuesday as it were. Look at that shot right now over Georgia Tech's campus, downtown area, nice clear sky. Now the moon was full last night. It was the full blue sturgeon moon. It's still going to be bright in the sky overnight tonight. What are the temperatures like right now? Down to 75 in Dallas, 80 right now for Chamblee, 81 for Lawrenceville, and Covington's at 82 degrees, so still pretty warm out there. But as you go up into the mountains, Ellijay down into the 60s, starting to feel a little bit like apple picking season up in Gilmer County, so it won't be long before that actually happens. Notice how in the western part of South Carolina, there's one shower that's kind of blowing up there, very close to the Georgia border, but not in Georgia. So we're in good shape here as we go through the overnight hours. Let's check out some of those lows up that way into northeast Georgia. 54 for Brasstown. Of course, that's at very high elevation, but Blairsville 55, Blue Ridge 55, Ellijay 58. So you're going to knock about another 10 degrees off the temperature that you have right now. Canton, Jasper, both around 60 degrees. Your northern suburbs tomorrow, probably between about 60 and 64 first thing in the morning. West Georgia, probably between about 58 and 62. So that includes Rome and Carrollton, Polk and Haralson counties as well. Bartow, Douglas County, all going to be on the cooler side. Go east of Atlanta, temperatures will generally be in the mid-60s, which is actually going to be the coolest morning that we've seen in a while, in 70 days, believe it or not, going back to mid-June. High temperatures tomorrow under partly cloudy skies will be in the mid-80s. There's a very low chance of a shower or two flaring up southwest of Atlanta, but most of us are going to stay dry, and dry is the theme for this 7-day forecast. On Thursday morning, temperatures are not quite as cool, into the 60s. Thursday afternoon, a high temperature again in the mid-80s. And you can notice that gradual increasing high temperature trend as we go into and through the weekend. I can thankfully say that this weekend looks great compared to what we saw last weekend. Now, last weekend wasn't terrible, but man, we had those thunderstorms that flared up both Saturday and Sunday afternoon. This weekend, the chance of rain is pretty much non-existent. So partly cloudy skies on Wednesday. I want you also to see what's going on in South Georgia and along the southeast U.S. coastline. So while we're enjoying beautiful weather that extends back up through the Tennessee and Ohio valleys, not so great in the southern part of our state and right along the coast as we go into the late work week and into the weekend. So if you do have plans to hit the coast, be it down to Savannah and Tybee Island or possibly up to Charleston or Hilton Head or maybe even Myrtle Beach, you might have to deal with some showers and storms both Saturday and Sunday afternoons, whereas we stay dry here inland in North Georgia all the way down through Middle Georgia, looking really good, and finally hot again by late in the weekend and early next week. So we are definitely not done with the hot weather. We're just getting a break from it for now. Saturday's high 88 degrees, Sunday's high up to about 91. Let's check out Atlanta's most accurate 7-day forecast for 10 years running now, certified most accurate. And you can see that temperatures are going to stay in the 80s for the rest of this work week, climb into the low 90s Sunday, and not stop climbing early next week. 93 on Monday. Right now, we're going 95 on Tuesday, so we'll be cooking before too long, back into the mid-90s. Pretty good chance that we'll have another heat wave next week. That's 3 straight days in the 90s, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and probably longer than that. Next weekend is Labor Day weekend. Hard to believe the unofficial end of summer is right around the corner for us, but it is, and we're getting a little taste of some early fall weather with some of these cooler temperatures that we're enjoying at night right now. All right, I'm going to throw that 7-day back up there. Hope you have a great rest of your evening. Don't forget to check us out on Peachtree TV at 10 o'clock from 10 to 11, and then we'll be on right after the coverage of the Democratic National Convention ends. Last night it ended late, if we're being honest. Hopefully not quite as late this evening. Have a good one.